Welcome, everyone, to Here Be Dragons. Session 1/2, because Session 0 didn't work out the way anyone save me planned. Hi, everybody. My name is Philip. I'm the Dungeon Master of this very mean-spirited game. Although, overall, I don't think it'll be that mean-spirited, but it certainly started that way. This is a game where we have 5 wonderful players here surrounding me who are going to be playing as dragons in an extremely cool adventure where they try to escape from some people who want to exterminate their species. Say hello, players.
Hello, players.
How's everyone doing this fine Sunday evening?
Pretty good.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that.
So bad.
Has anyone? Clearly no one has forgiven me, but have people come to a place where they can look at me?
I've forgiven, but I haven't forgotten.
Fair enough. That's always that's a good way to do.
I will never trust you again, but you are forgiven.
I can't believe you did this last time. So this is going to be great. Oh, I am the Dragon Master.
That's very good.
I would be the Dragon Master for this, but because it's so rare that I just should I be the Dragon Master for this game or the Dungeon Master?
Sure.
We're playing D&D. Dragon Master. All right, fine. It will be changed. It will be renamed. I guess people can see this. This is just covering the front of the thing, and I'm fine with that. Dragon Master. There we go.
Hey.
So yes, everyone. So welcome to this exciting session where our characters are actually going to. There's no trickery this time. I've said many times these are the characters they are playing, because last time I was real specific where I never said playing. I always said running and building because I'm a straight up dick.
See, the key to that though is that we're gonna play like a little encounter today where we all die at the end of it at the hands of the characters we made last week.
We're never
to
gonna
show us their power in action.
Yep. Remember, guys, all B choices today, all number 2 choices.
That's a good,
save the good guns for the next one.
Yeah, eventually they'll be able to show up. A couple things going on. We're going to do this a little later in today's session. I guess it would be 3 weeks from tonight is October 31st, which I was told is the only time people are supposed to be sadistic and terrifying in their entertainment and not do it every Friday, but that's not me. So for a special Halloween, this game will not be taking place for a special Halloween one-shot event, and we don't know what that is yet. Starting last Friday and ending tomorrow, we are having 3 sessions of polling on the Twitch poll in chat. We're going to do that later on tonight. Last time, the choice for a gothic horror adventure set in Scotland, run using the Call of Cthulhu rules.
Pretty sexy.
That got 160 votes, whereas a super lethal dungeon crawl got 129 votes. I will let you know that because I'm going to keep it the irresponsible way it currently is, I didn't turn off voting with channel points. So, some longtime participants in this channel who had a lot of those accrued burnt a lot of channel points, and that's why the vote totals are so high. And we're going to let them keep just burning them off if they so choose for the next 2 days of voting. So we'll have one more session today, a 5-minute session kind of towards the end of the game, and then the final deciding one will be tomorrow. So if you really care, and I think that Lauren has actually made the statement that she's only playing in the Scottish gothic horror session, largely because she thinks, I have not confirmed or denied, but she thinks that it plays into the Top Flight universe and mythos that explains both Top Flight and Blood from a Stone and may reveal fascinating secrets of history. That might be the case, but so if you want to see her, vote for that one, and if you don't want to see her, vote for the other one. That seems like a mean reason to do it, but I mean, I mean,
that's the choice she created.
That is the binary that she built into the situation.
And if you miss one show, I mean, she is on 3 other shows on this channel, so
that is true. Yeah, that is true.
I'm trying to figure out how to vote.
It's not yet.
It'll be voting in chat towards the end of today's game. There'll be a poll in chat. But for now, we have some players here who have been thinking about, the dragons they want to build, or not thinking, because they also were totally within their rights to not plan ahead this time, since I wasted a lot of their precious time, literally took them away from their children for the lie that I did last week. So this week, if they kind of wanted to wait and see what everybody else does, that's great. But I think the first thing we will do is we'll sort of go around, and if you have, let's not even get into like a backstory and stuff, just who here knows the dragon species they're going to be running for this campaign? Honest? Don't know why I said honest.
Honest.
I was like, honest? All five of you?
No lies.
We're all sort of swearing ourselves in.
Yes.
All right, exactly. So, well then, Vanda, let's start with, it looks like your dragon's name is XigXag the Touched, is that correct?
Yes.
That's
correct.
wonderful. And what species of dragon is XigXag the Touched?
Electrum.
Electrum. Oh man.
Electrum.
I got a deep cut reference here. Let's see who the true musical theater nerds are. I am Electrum, feel my attraction. I'm not even doing a good musical, by the way. This is Starlight Express. Listen,
I know. I was gonna. Yeah, I knew it.
AC/DC, It's Okay by me. Whew. All right, so Electrum, and there is actually a question I didn't too much focus on this for you all last time, but I want to sort of bring it up now because you technically can choose some other body types as per page. What the hell page would that be?
First page.
Page 6. So if you look at page 6 of your document, I pretty much recommend you all just be worms. That's what a classic dragon is. That's going to give you the most kind of flexibility.
Worm or worm?
The Wyrm, the first option, WYRM. That means you have 4 legs, you have claws that can manipulate things, you have tails, you have claws and back, and 4 legs you can slash with. But if anybody is thinking of being a land drake, that means you're wingless, but you're much more stronger and heavily built, or a wind serpent, which means you can't really attack, but you sort of hover and you're not at all like inclement weather doesn't mess with your flight, and you can be weightless. You have a lot of interesting choices there, and then wyverns have some cool features where they can't ever use their hands for stuff, but their back claws are more powerful and they fly a little faster. So I mostly suggest being a worm, but if anybody wants to be one of those other options, they are certainly welcome to. But so do you think that that XigXag is going to be an Electrum worm, the standard build? Wonderful.
Yes.
All right. Let's kick over to, I'm going to go to Pierce next, actually.
Sure.
What species of dragon have you landed on?
I am going to be an obsidian lineage and a worm.
A worm, an obsidian worm. And I have yet to see the official artwork, but my understanding of obsidian is like the other gemstone dragons, it's kind of has this like armor sort of like
plates, right?
Plates are like sort of like hover, like they don't just like hover all over the place. They're very sort of tight, but they're kind of like they're not perfectly fused. And I would imagine that inside you see like molten, I would imagine they're like molten and volcanic on the inside. All right, very good. An obsidian worm. And then I guess should I ask Anna and Andrew together what species of dragon they're going to be?
Go ahead, sis.
My brother is really kind. I'm going to be Shishu the gold dragon. And this is my brother Elan.
Elan, yeah.
Elan.
Mm-hmm. Also gold dragon, yeah, of course.
Very cool.
That's right. XigXag, are you taking the default dispelling breath weapon as your secondary?
Not decided on that because I feel that would work better with cone. I like the idea of it.
I'm actually thinking about taking that if you want to do something different.
Okay, no. Oh, then you take it, and I have a second choice.
Perfect.
Okay. So yeah, I guess that's and actually we should also ask and Jet, I'm just giving you extra time because I know you thought about this the least, so that's why I'm coming to you last. So yeah, what are your each of you? Yeah, the big special thing you get is you all get a secondary breath weapon. So it sounds like Elan is going to have a dispelling breath.
Yes.
What do you think you are going to have on their Shishu? Sorry.
Shishu, it's okay. I'm thinking of slowing breath, and it's not because people have told me I'm boring.
The slowing breath is a very cool one. And then what were you thinking of for your Electrum dragon XigXag?
God, I forgot the name of it. Hurricane or something?
Yes, it is the hurricane
Badass.
breath. It's basically you blow things back. Very cool.
Yes.
All right. And then for our obsidian dragon, who is not metallic in nature, the choice you have about your species is a little different. There are 4 different sort of psionic options you get to choose from. One is called Mental Fortress, where you can also do, like, you get to add psychic damage to an energy type, psychic spells. You don't need any components. Spells just happen. Telekinetic, which means you can move stuff, or just telepathic, and you can talk to things from a distance. Which of those do you think you're leaning
the
on?
Deathmaker. That was great.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Mentos the breath weapon.
Mentos the Deathmaker.
Fresh goes better.
Death goes better.
The one. No, death goes better with Mentos fresh and full of death. Hold up the package, you know. It says Mentos on the side, but they're like, the Fresh Maker. What do you think? What do you think there, Pierce?
Well, I don't get a secondary breath, right?
No, you get a on page 10, you get one of these psionic features.
Oh, right.
Your options include a mental fortress that kind of lets you kind of have psychic among your damage types as well. It gives you psychic spells, so you don't have to use any. You still have to use a component with a listed price, but otherwise you don't have to do somatic or verbal. That's a huge deal. Telekinetic or telepathic.
Yeah, that's right. I had looked at this. Psychic spells was what I think.
I wonder what class he'll be taking in that class. All right, and you are obsidian. Obsidian with psychic spells. Great. And have you actually? I guess have you determined your? I guess we haven't talked to anybody's paradigms yet, so we'll hold off on that. But we'll move on over to Jed. Jed,
Yo.
do you have a species?
I do. I'm going to be a yellow dragon.
Yellow.
Ooh.
And they were all yellow.
Yellow snake.
Boo.
And is your
I
name?
want to consciously decouple from that comment.
That was really good. That's really
Uncouple,
funny.
not
I don't know if you just
They
coincidentally
correct you.
said that.
Sorry.
That's funny because that's the guy she did that with. I didn't know if you know
Yeah.
that. It's Chris
True.
Martin of Coldplay. That's great. Anyway, yellow, wonderful. That is very exciting. So we do in fact have one of the chromatic dragons. Although the yellow dragons have an interesting, different kind of breath weapon where they can either choose to take the damage or be stunned. So, and they're sort of psychic in nature.
Is that my choice or is it the victim's choice?
It is the choice of the victim.
Oh.
Basically, basically they have to make some tough choices sometimes, and occasionally I think people might have, I'll take stunned and hope I don't die before my next turn, because otherwise I'm down. Yeah.
Yep.
Wonderful. All right, and your name is Lizard.
I don't have a name yet.
Understood.
I just,
Gotcha.
dragon, big lizard.
So you get, and you actually, I'm not going to ask you to pick this yet, but just know you're going to get to gain a proficiency in 2 saving throws of your choice, which is super cool and rad. You can put it into one you already have proficiency in to get expertise in that saving throw. I will let you know that if you wind up picking the Dex or Strength, Draconic Instinct, which we'll get to in a little bit, I believe you can literally wind up with proficiency in all saving throws. Which
That'll be my goal if I can do that. I'm not quite sure, but yeah.
You could, if you get that in there and then do that. Because one gives you Dex, one gives you Strength, and then you could use this to get Int, and then the other either of Dex or Strength, which you hadn't done. So you could, or you could go wide with others, which is very, very cool. Are you going to be a worm? Typical dragon body, 4 legs.
Yeah, typical dragon body. I'll be going in the Imperator class. I know we haven't talked about that yet, but I figure for that class specifically, having some dexterous appendages will be useful.
I think that's say wise. I the other things are cool, fun options, but I think I pretty much strongly recommend Worm for all. Okay, great. Well, guys, in that case, we have sort of talked about these species that are being chosen for all these dragons. Your specific species does determine 2 skill proficiencies you'll be getting from the outset here, and you can find that on the various tables. For you, Jed, your yellow will give you proficiency in insight and perception. For my metallic friends, the gold dragons gain perception and persuasion. An Electrum gains investigation and perception. They all get perception. That's the secret. It's really only one unique one. And then our obsidian friend, you gain deception and perception. Deception and perception is the okay. Wonderful. In addition to that, my fine scaled friends, all 5 of you gain proficiency in the following 3 saving throws.
I can't wait.
Constitution, Wisdom, and Charisma.
Ooh,
Excellent.
So you can click those in all 3. Great. Now, we're going to pause here at this point because we have not, we sort of haven't gone, though, to, and, I do want to mention this before we do stats. Size, here's what size determines. Your constitution will determine your size, and your size determines, your flying speed and the physical size, and the damage that you do with your various weapons, which is pretty cool. If you have a constitution score of 1 to 11, your size is small, so you can be like a back-riding dragon if you want to. That seems risky, but do it. If your constitution is between 12 and 17, you're medium. If it is 18 to 21, you are large. 22 to 25, you're huge. 26 to 30, you're gargantuan. Obviously, no one will be some of these higher ones at the outset, but it won't be long before you can start to pump up to those. And then if you are 31 or over, you are considered immense. So, with that in mind, because I was so mean earlier, I'm going to kind of kick it to the group. How do you guys want to do stats? Do you guys like rolling? Would you prefer to just use the standard array? Or point buy? I think it's, bear in mind, before I finish this, what you all get to do after this is whether you roll or standard array or point buy, you get to add 2 to any 2 ability scores. And then you get to add 1 to 4 more ability scores.
Jeez.
So you get 8 more points on top of whatever you roll.
Dragons are pretty powerful.
This, yeah. I think I had mentioned, this game was partially designed. It's designed for only 3 players, so we're gonna have a very powerful party here. And it's like a party is 3 in this, and it also is designed for like solo play because there's rules for giving legendary actions. So kind of you can like run just one dragon through. So that's why you're crazy to think. Yeah, you guys also get 2d12 hit points every level, which seems a lot to me. And it's not even based on like if you're a small dragon, you're still getting that. So how do people feel about point generation? About stats? Do you guys like to roll randomly? Do you like to
I vote for rolling.
You vote for rolling?
Always like rolling. Come on. What is the debate here?
Rolls?
We got dice. Let's use them.
I think it depends on what the rolling is, to be honest.
I'm kind of afraid of rolling, but I'll go.
My favorite rolling is like is 2d6 plus 6.
Wait, really? You like 2d6 plus 6?
I love that.
Which makes the average 13 for every stat? Yeah, I can't imagine why you wouldn't like that. 2d6 plus 6. Typically what I do when one of the 2d6 plus 6 versions I'll do is it's exactly the same as the choice between a great sword and a great axe is I'll let people do 1d12 plus 6, which is exactly the same spread but way higher drama.
That's great. Huh.
I mean, if you 2d6 plus 6, on the one hand, that's going to give you guys some amazing stats. On the other hand, I was a real dick to you last week.
May we remind you?
Yes.
But we get 8 points.
You also get
Yeah, we
8
do get 8 points. I feel like I don't really care what it is. The only thing I would prefer would be that we are able to assign to whatever.
You know what?
Assign scores to whatever.
Can I just remind everybody, we're fucking dragons.
Right.
Yeah, we should get 8 fucking
Can I
points on top
remind
of
everybody,
whatever.
we have to fight the level 20 most
Yeah.
badass versions of our characters.
Not today.
Well,
Next week.
Probably next week.
So okay, so
who knows?
here is a thing.
I don't
Only
really.
Dragon
Yes,
Master can tell.
Here's also a thing I want to do because I've had it's not so much it's not hurt feelings by any means or hurt feeling, but I've had occasionally we'll have situations where one person rolls so high, somebody else really doesn't. So in that case, how would you all feel about each of you rolling one stat, and that is the pool that the group gets to use?
Oh, that's fun.
And the only reason I will, we'll have like one floater thing. The only thing I will sort of say about that in response is there will be some interesting choices that you guys will make in game pertaining to hordes, whether or not you're going to maintain separate hordes or a communal horde. So I would say that this is kind of an interesting like straw poll for a decision that will come a little later.
Well, and also because we're a flight, right? So we have formations we work in.
Yes,
I kinda
formations
like
you'll
this
get
for the
chosen and
idea of,
such. But if anybody wants to like really excel on their own, I can appreciate somebody not wanting to do it this way. So what do we say? Do you guys want to go? Do you all fly together or do you fly separately?
I mean, as a player, I'm always going to say together. As a dragon.
That's fair.
I say we roll. I say we roll together.
I
I'll
think
roll
we, I
together.
think we should roll. Yeah.
Wonderful. Then I will record these rolls. I will tell you all what. I'm going to give each of you the individual option to roll drama or roll safety. I'm going to yield to the request that it is a sort of a higher average than the typical 46 drop 1, although honestly 46 drop 1's not bad. So you each have the choice of rolling 2d6 plus 6 or 1d12 plus 6. Who would like to go first among you?
I'll go first.
All right, the golds are jumping at it.
Freaking siblings.
Which are you gonna do?
You go.
Anna, you go. And Anna, what are you doing? Is this a 2d6 situation?
No, I rolled a 1d12.
1d12. What did we roll?
An 8.
An 8.
We have
So that
14.
is a 14 for your first communal score. Not too bad. Who's next?
All right.
Andrew?
Yep, it's a 9 on the D12.
9 on the. Oh, you went D12 after all that?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
14, 15. All right. Vanda, would you like to go?
Sure, 2d6.
2d6. Playing it a little safer. I get it.
10.
Sure.
6 and a
So
4.
far, 14, 15, 16.
Loving it.
Pierce?
Which of you do you want to burst the bubble or should I do it, Jed?
You go for it. You go for it.
I'll roll the 12
Okay.
because I love drama and failing. It's a 2. It's an
8, my friends. All right. And then, Jed.
What are the odds?
All right, I'll roll D12.
All right.
Oh, 11!
So,
Dropping that 17.
so far we have 8, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then whatever I roll.
And this is why I voted to roll together.
Would you all like me to roll? I have a couple of options that I'm going to do with a crazy thing here. I'm going to present you with a crazier option. Okay, check this out.
Kill your child.
I will roll a d12, which will be subtracted from 21.
Right, so
Okay.
you're using...
No, the worst thing we could end up with is a 9.
A 9 would be your low end.
Okay.
All right, shall I do that?
Sure.
Why not?
Or should I just roll a d20 and that's the score? That's my favorite. That's the ultimate high drama. You roll a d20 and that's the score. No, I'll do this thing I just said because I think it's fun. We have 2 gold dragons in here, so I'm going to roll a nice gold metal d20. So you guys actually want me to roll really low. I roll fairly low. That is a frickin' 4, so that is 2 17s in your starting.
I knew you were going to roll a 4. I said to myself, he's going to roll a 4, and then you rolled a 4.
All right, so what this does mean, technically, my friends, is that you can start with 2 20s if you put both of your 2s from your species into the 17 and then add 1 more additionally to that from your age category. So the first thing, let's kind of do this in order. What do we have to work with? You have to work with 8, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17. That's a pretty good little spread there.
It's actually not bad.
I'm just trying to keep us grounded, trying to keep it real for all of us.
So 8, 14, 15.
It's important
16.
And we are not
throw away one of these numbers, right?
17, 17. No, none of these numbers go away. You need all 6 of them.
Appreciate you, Pierce.
You can put them wherever you want.
Okay, I'll take the 8 for my charisma if I can hope for a nice sum for later on.
What's
sure?
Interesting.
And so basically, I'll kind of throw this out there real quick. If you are going to be a spellcasting dragon, it is going to be, it could be any mental stat that you'll need. If you're going to be a knight, you are likely going to want either strength for damage dealing, or you're going to want dexterity for sort of quickness and elusiveness, or you are going to want constitution for survivability. As an imperator, you are going to want to just have your intelligence as high as possible. That's really that's their whole stat. They start getting other stuff. I mean, clearly constitution's very important, so you'll all want to use that as much as you can. If you want to be a hunter, which is the kind of subclass that we've created here for the game, I think it is, again, it really is whatever. It's kind of more based on whichever draconic instinct you go with. I will say the hunter has one pretty cool feature, which is that they can expend hit dice to add to a d6 roll when recharging their breath weapon.
Yeah, my plan was going with Constitution.
So going Constitution can make sense because you actually, one cool thing about and we'll get to what this means in a second, but the Constitution-based dragons, they get all their hit dice back every long rest. So you can kind of spend them on other things and then regain them all. You're very hearty. So yeah, if anybody has any questions as they're entering that for now, go ahead and enter those features. And if you want to sort of go to the next step from there, you will add 2 to any 2 stats, and then add 4, and then add 1 to any 4 stats. So you can add 3 to the same stat.
And what for the Arcanist is it? Sorry, I'm trying to find the thing. What's the? Is there a spellcasting primary stat?
Charisma for the as written version.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Can we split any of those numbers up or double up the other ones?
So what you can, I will actually allow you to split your 2s if you want to, but you can't. So basically,
I can split the 2s, but not the 1s.
You can't split the 1s, sure, but you also can't double the 1s anywhere. So if for some reason you wanted more stuff, but yeah, basically you can't put more than 3 in any. You can put 3 in 2 stats if you want to, but you can't do any more than that. And if you do that, you can't put 2 in anything else. You get the idea.
Sorry, could you tell me the point spread just one more time?
The point spread that you guys rolled, absolutely. 8, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17.
17, excellent.
Not nothing is what I'll say about that. I think also, and yeah, go ahead.
You talked about our size earlier. Do we need to choose our size now?
Well, your size is going to be determined by your constitution. So anyone who has a constitution of 18 to 21 is going to be huge, is going to be large in size. I should actually mention, when do they get, if you're an Imperator, you are going to become proficient in, intelligence saving throws at 6th level. So if you pick it ahead of time, you'll just gain,
get expertise.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That was a question I had, so that's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's some interesting interesting point spread possibilities here
Huh.
for you all.
Okay.
Please let me know if you have any questions about where to enter things, how to enter things.
What stat do we use for our attacks? Is it strength?
Strength.
Excellent. We'll go ahead and get to this because this is from a little bit later on. But it is either strength unless you take the dexterity feature, and then it's dex. Basically, your natural weapons become finesse weapons if you want to be a dex-based dragon. So it'll be either strength or dex. The only people, and then obviously spellcasters, they'll have, attacks that are based on a mental stat. And I suppose if a hunter is constitution based, their attack is actually based on con, which is also cool for their breath arrow.
Or as
other
I've been
question?
calling it, the fuck that one guy in particular breath weapons.
Not a bad name for it. Yes, another question, Jed.
Yeah. So then how do I want to phrase this? So if we're doing, shit, now I forgot it. Hold on, I'll get it back in a second. I can't remember.
You're good.
Our AC.
Mm-hmm.
Is that flat determined, or it's like I saw there's a feat that can change that, but other
Your
than that,
AC is determined flat. Your AC for all of you will be 17 at this size category, unless you take that dexterity thing, and at that point your AC is 13 plus dex mod. So if you're going to have a plus, basically it will matter long term. But if you're going to have a 20 in a dex to start off, and you're going the dex model, then you would have an 18 to start, because it would be 5 plus 13.
Mm-hmm. And how often do we get feats in this? I didn't quite see that.
Feats are the dragon feats happen at level 8, 12. And 17.
17.
ASIs happen like every other level or so. They're very frequent. You get a lot. You guys are. They even say in the book, I should have said this earlier, don't worry too terribly much about your stats, because you're gonna. And also, as you get bigger, your caps go crazier. Right now, you can take anything to 21. But once you get to it'll go up to 23 at level 7, 25. It raises
25 at level 7.
There you go. 25 level 7, go up to 31 by the end, I think. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you said unless you take a dex feat, but like we wouldn't take that now because you said it would happen at level 8.
So it's not a feat. It's called an instinct. The draconic instinct is the next thing we're going to pick, and it is going to determine how you calculate your dragon save, your dragon DC, basically.
Oh.
And we'll get to that in a moment. But you know what? Actually, it may matter enough that we should. How's everybody doing on stats? Is there anybody still working on stats, putting them in?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
In that case, let's pause here, and it is one of the big things we pick there at level 1. It is your draconic instinct, and basically this is kind of like the nature of dragon you are. There are 3 choices. I will read them to you. The first is you are a cunning dragon. This means you are dexterity based, and so that means your dragon save DC is 8 plus proficiency, so 10 plus your dex modifier. You calculate your AC using dex instead of having it be a flat natural armor of 17, which it will be for everyone. Yours is 13 plus dex. Your speed is always calculated as if you're one size larger. So you get to be faster. In addition, so in other words, if say that you are for example, let's say that you have a constitution of 17. So typically you have a 30-foot, 60-foot, but those would have a 40-foot, 80-foot. So sometimes that will matter, sometimes it won't. I think the speeds only increase every other level for the sizes. Additionally, if you are a dexterity-based dragon, a cunning dragon, all of your natural weapons, be it tail, claws, or bite, I'm trying to tail, claws, bite, really trying to do the motions of those. They are all considered finesse weapons, so you use your dexterity instead of your strength. And lastly, you gain proficiency in dex saving throws. So that's a lot of stuff you get to be a cunning dragon. But wait, there's more. If you instead choose to be a power dragon, you are a strength-based dragon. The big deal here, and this does go up every level, is you hit as if you're one size larger. That means if you are able to get if you pick this and you're able to get your constitution to 18 here at level 1, which with all these 17s, not hard to do, you strike as if you are a huge dragon, dealing 2d10 piercing plus 2d6 energy every bite at a range of 10 feet, 2d8 slashing at a range of 5 feet with your claws, or 2d8 bludgeoning with your tail. So, that's pretty rad. In addition to that, the strength-based dragons are proficient in strength saving throws, and they calculate their breath weapon, like with their muscles, basically. That part doesn't make as much sense, but I'm down with it. Let's roll. Cool, Dragonflight, here we go. Lastly, if you instead choose to be a survival-based, so that is really good for a knight or martial classes. You're just maximizing your damage output by taking power. Cunning can work for a lot of different kinds. And then survival basically means you are all about the constitution. You gain, your hit point max increases by 2 and goes up by 2 every level, so it's the tough feat just baked in right there. You get all your hit dice back when you complete a long rest. If you're a hunter, that matters a lot because you can use your hit dice for other features. And then no, that's what they get. But also it means you can, your dragon, to avoid getting hit with your breath weapon is calculated from your constitution. So you have a lot of constitutional fortitude.
Higher dragon save DC.
Exactly, your dragon save DC becomes that. So each of you is going to have to pick one of those options.
Well, question.
I got mine.
Yes, please.
So if my con is already to 18 because I chose 17 plus 2, do I choose that draconic instinct or do I go with strength?
I would say you
can
should.
Go to 20.
I would say you should choose the draconic instinct because you are going to be a melee fighter. You think, right?
Right.
So
as a knight, yeah.
So basically, would you rather be a knight who sort of strikes sort of stealthily? Do you want to fly faster and have maybe higher AC, or would you rather just do more damage?
I like doing damage.
Then you should be a power dragon.
Okay. I'm a power dragon.
Okay, cool.
Shishu, the power dragon.
So you will be taking the power
fucking power dragon.
And Andrew, it sounds like you had a choice.
I think so. I think I'm gonna do Dex because based on this, just so I know.
Yeah,
that, like
please.
we get plus. Yeah, and we're saying that we can stack basically. So we basically have like 8 to do somewhere.
You have 8 to do, but you cannot put more than but like 2 of them are sort of bundled, and you can't do more than or you can only bundle 2 of the first 4. It's very complicated that they break it up like this. I totally understand why they do it, because one is from a size category, one's from a species. Like, I get why they've done it, but it makes it very complicated here in character creation. Basically, the idea is that, yes, you'll get a total of 8 points. You can't put more than 3 in any individual stat.
Gotcha.
And if you put 3 into 2 stats, you only have 2 other points you'll put anywhere, and they can't be together. Those are separate.
Gotcha.
Wait, so where do I choose power dragon on the...
It is not on the spreadsheet, but
Okay.
what we'll do for you is just write it under features.
So theoretically, we could do like a
kind of over on
20.
the far side.
Just seeing this because we have 8, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17. We could do like a 20, 20, 16, 9,
Totally.
14, 16.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Great.
That's a
Okay.
very, that's a perfectly valid thing based on the insane stat generation model and how well you guys rolled in this. So cunning dragon might make sense, especially if you're going to be going in that direction. Pierce, do you have a thought on your draconic instinct?
Oh yeah, survival.
Survival, great. What are you thinking, Vanda, for good old XigXag?
Yes, survival.
Survival as well, wonderful. And then Jed, did you have thoughts for your as yet unnamed yellow likely imperator?
Yes, so I'm a little torn between 2 options.
Okay.
I like the idea of the cunning because then I can really, put in the dex and get a nice good AC. But I think I'm gonna go with power, so I have proficiency in all saving throws.
I think it makes sense. Now, you could gain proficiency in all saving throws by doing cunning.
No, does it give you a saving throw in dexterity?
It also gives you dex saves. Yeah, cunning and power both give you the save. So
that made it harder.
I'm sorry.
Son of a bitch.
Choices.
All right, chat. What do you think? Let me know, chat.
It's a good question. Yeah, chat.
You get to decide.
Right now we have
Honestly,
two
you guys
survival. We have 2 survival, 1 cunning, 1 power. So in other words, 2 con, 1 dex, 1 strength. We need to know.
Hold on, I'll put up a poll.
Should I? Is it better? People that are smarter than me. Is it better for me? I mean, clearly, I'm going to do a 20 in charisma for spellcasting. Done. Right? Do you think it's better to put that the other 20 into Constitution, or into Dexterity? What do you think?
Because you are taking the cunning option, I think Dexterity might make sense because that will get your AC higher.
Okay, great. Done.
All right, chat. The poll's up. Let me know. What should I choose?
Yeah, we have a poll. This is a sample poll.
That's
Everyone, burn all your channel points on this now. Burn them all. No polls are important later on. There we go.
Oh,
I
everybody's
successfully
saying dex.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Looks like Dex is unless there's an 11th hour October.
Oh my
it keeps
gosh.
getting more.
Wow.
Very heavy. You can spend bits and stuff to vote. So
This is a
All right.
landslide.
This is a strong statement that basically.
Although you are basically choosing which sibling you align with. Right?
But what is cool about this is
Fair enough.
I will say this does make Shishu.
Yeah, bro.
Shishu is more special this way.
Mhm.
So I think
That's true.
She's
Thank
so
you.
special. She's so special.
that's very true.
yeah. We
just been waiting for
we
you
got
guys to
2
say it
con,
all
2
night.
dex, but only one who's like, no, I want to bite things hard.
Dex is cunning.
Dex is
That's
cunning,
true.
That is correct.
Yeah, I like that for you. The only reason I was not going to do that is because every single one of my characters is always dex heavy. I've never had a strength character, so I was like, ooh, but this is good.
You know,
I'm doing the Imperator class dragonkind. It's like it's sort of, I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like a roguish character. If it's kind of like a bardish character, it's like a weird, like kind of mastermindy.
Right.
It's a manipulator. That's a good way of putting it.
tactician as well. There's almost a little battle master fighter in there too.
Or like a brainiac.
Yeah, he's got some cool like combat abilities too, but it's definitely
There's some impressive stuff.
Yeah, these dragons, don't. Now that you've seen what these things, I'm sure you guys are like, oh, if we can get up to like a decent level, we can probably take that team we built last week.
Maybe.
If you get them 1 by 1, you'll be fine.
Rod of Resurrection, am I right?
Well, but
that's why
take
you
it,
gotta-
kill that one, take it, put it in your horde.
We will be an intelligent group. You
Am
kill
I
the cleric
right?
immediately.
My intelligence is 9. I'm sorry.
Oh, follow the Imperator's lead and kill the cleric immediately.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just want to get money. That's all I want. I just want money
gosh.
so bad.
Well,
You have the
that's-
charisma, I
that's-
have the smarts in this family.
That is the purpose of being a dragon. So that's
Well, at
gonna work
least you both know what you're good at.
the poll is still going on. So, but it sounds like is there any way strength can catch up? Nope.
Sure there
Not
is,
unless
but
I
I'm
spend
gonna
a lot of money right now.
yeah, right, basically. I'll go Dex then, I guess.
I think
This
that
is
yeah, I
Reagan
think that makes
Dukakis
sense.
here,
We
is
can-
what this is.
We can wait until it's finalized. But okay, so great. So you will be having the
Yeah.
cunning instinct. Great, and that also means in a very fun way that your character from level 1 as a chromatic dragon, proficient in every possible saving throw. For those of you, also Andrew, make sure that you put dexterity saving throws on your character as well.
Thank you.
And Anna, go ahead and give yourself proficiency in strength saving throws because that is something else that the power one gives you.
I appreciate it.
Of course. Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
Philip, if I might, it does say that I can put the same ability score can be increased multiple times using the ability score feature. not to bust out the rules lawyer on you, but I was just curious. I'm okay either way. I just thought I'd mention that.
It says you have 4 ability score increases, each of which can increase a single ability score by 1. You can increase multiple times using this feature. Interesting. So basically, they're saying, I don't quite understand what that means. I thought that just meant, I thought the multiple times was because you're also getting it from other stuff. That's fair, though.
Oh, you know what? That might be. It might be like, because you get multiple ability scores. So that might be it. I'm fine spreading it out, but I just if anyone's unhappy with their stats still and thinks they're underpowered, that's fine. Certainly, I can say you can go for that. But I would figure you guys are probably in pretty good shape here. Raise your hand if your character has 2 20s in an ability score. In 2 different ability scores. Shishu, I bet.
I think I figured out mine.
I bet yours will.
I have an 18 and a 19.
All right, so
get 1 at 20.
Shishu, for you, looking at this.
Forget to add something in.
Let's see here. Do you remember where you added the numbers?
Mm-hmm. I wrote it down.
Cool. Yeah. Where'd you add everything?
+2 to my con.
Okay.
So I'm 19.
Okay.
+1 to dex, so I'm 18.
Okay.
+2 to strength, so I'm sorry. Hold on. That's 18. So the dex must be the +2. I don't know why I didn't just add +2 to something else and make it 19.
So if I were you,
does it matter?
Not hugely. If I were you, I would consider. Well, I think you definitely want to make strength a 20 if possible.
So how do I get there?
What I would do for you is for your character, I would put 117 into strength, and then 117 into con.
All right, and then you add 2 and 2.
And then if you want to max out both of those, which is fine, you could do +2 into both of those and then +1, and then just add 2 to any other abilities.
Because Anna, you can stack your +2 and your +1.
Yeah, you can stack the +2 and the +1s. This is very complicated. And
I thought we couldn't stack them.
You can stack those, and honestly, I think based on the way they've described the rules, you probably could even stack further. But if I were you, I would wind up with a 20 in strength, a 16 in dex, a 20 in con, a 16 in int, an 8 or 9 in wisdom, and then either a 14 or 15 in charisma, depending on which one. Basically, an 8 in wisdom and 14 in charisma, but then you can add 1 to one of those 2 scores.
Okay.
That's probably what I would do for your build.
Okay.
Because unlike a barbarian, you don't need dex. It doesn't even. I mean, it helps for initiative, sure, but your scales are armor. You guys are all you all start in splint mail basically in this game.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why I want to look at the AC.
Yeah. Okay, but that does mean who here has an 18 or higher in Constitution?
I do.
Oh.
Interesting. So our 2 dex-based creatures, you are only going to be medium-sized. Is that correct?
My sister's the bigger one.
Perfect. So. Great. So we have 2 creatures who are sort of slightly smaller. Then we have 3 full-on large dragons, like the size of a young dragon in D&D. One of whom, with a 20 con, is hitting like a. So Anna, your character is hitting like you are a huge dragon. You're hitting like an adult dragon. You're dealing that much damage on your various strikes, and I can fill in all your attack rolls and stuff shortly.
Great.
But yeah, so that's.
I only hit them if they have it coming.
Sure. Well, you'll probably start finding a lot of people who have it coming pretty soon. Okay.
I guess. Sure. Yeah. If you say so.
If you say so. I'm trying to think of anything else we get at. So some things you all have. You all have a fly speed. Those of you who are named Jed and Andrew have a fly speed of 60 feet. Everyone else has a fly speed of 80 feet. Oh no! That's right.
That's not actually.
You
all
actually
the same. You're
do
all
get
the
to
same.
go up because you all have the same fly speed. That's true because you're dex based. Thinking about the back where.
Should we change out where it says speed and just assume that's fly speed?
Oh yes, for speed. So actually, what you'll write is 40 feet, and then you can do a slash and say 80 fly.
Okay.
So you fly faster than you walk, which makes sense for a winged creature. And that is, I guess, that is true of all 5 of you. You all have that. Those of you who are medium, you get to do 1d12 piercing, and you can of course see this. I'm just kind of saying this out loud once for the viewing of it. You can all do 1d12 piercing with your bite and 1d8 slashing with your claws. For our 2 constitutionally based characters, you can both do 2d8 piercing with your jaws, 2d6 slashing with your claws, and 1d8 bludgeoning with your tail. So you, by being kind of bigger, you can actually use your tail. The medium dragons, they can't use their tail, not quite big enough. 4 hours. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, so for us mediums, it's so could you just repeat what that was?
Absolutely,
So
and you can also find it on page 17 of the book if you want to look there instead.
Okay, right.
But yes, it is. For the mediums, you have 1d12 piercing for your bite. It has a range of 5 feet. And then you have 1d8 slashing with your claws, also a range of 5 feet. For our 2 large dragons who are not strength-based, you have 2d8 piercing with your bite for at a range of 10 feet because your neck's longer, and then 2d6 slashing with your claws at a range of 5 feet, and then 1d8 bludgeoning at a range of 15 feet with your tail. Pretty rad. And then for
we want to put that under. I'm looking on the sheet.
it'll be under attacks, and actually I can help with the auto calc of all that. But basically it'll kind of be a thing here. I'll sort of type them in, and then I'll calculate them.
Oh, I see.
A little
Bite,
later.
yep,
You'll
okay.
have bite, claw, and tail, and I'll get all the right info and the right stats because those are all being pulled from other places right now.
Amazing.
I will need to. I didn't do this yet because I just sent you these sheets. I'll reprogram the sheets to calculate I'll calculate your dragon save DCs automatically on the sheet somewhere once I have a chance to go do that later. So cool, but yes, basically you do so much more damage as a large but a strength based. You do 2d10 piercing and 2d6 energy, so you get to add energy to your bite.
Wow.
You do 2d8 slashing with your claws, and you do 2d8 bludgeoning with your tail. So very cool. Tools are okay, great. The next thing we can all do is each of you gets to pick 1 skill from the following list: Arcana, Athletics, Deception, History, Insight, Intimidation, Investigation, Nature, Perception. You already have that. I don't know why they put that on there. Persuasion and Stealth. Maybe some dragons don't get it and I'm wrong. This is all on page 18, kind of up at the top under proficiencies. You only, because you kind of already got skills of other ways, and honestly, these dragons are less skilled than they are just horrific. So you can
Terrific. That's what I heard.
I
Terrific.
said horrific,
Terrific.
but sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
With a T. Yeah, that's what I heard.
More
Yeah.
appropriate.
Like
yes.
terrorific.
Terrorific.
Yay.
Terrorageous. So if I were you all, I would kind of think of those skills. I can say them again. For some, like the knight, you may want to sort of do the most, on point thing for grapple purposes and go with athletics. Or maybe you would want to kind of bring in like insight or stealth or something, unexpected. Stealth is often a very good option. But everyone does get 1 more skill here at level 1.
I love the idea of like this immense dragon just being stealthy, just sneaking by. You
Like
don't
a-
see me.
Like
Like a house
hiding,
cat.
like on the hind legs, like behind a tree.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
We dex based. We
Yes.
dex
We.
based dragons.
We dex-based few.
We on St. Crispin's Day, we add 13 plus our dex bonus for our AC. Is that correct?
Correct. Everyone else, go ahead and set your armor class to 17. It is just a flat 17. That's what your scales are when you're this
Wow.
age.
That's crazy. Does our AC scale though?
It does at age categories, so it will go up when you hit level 7. Unless you're dex, and then it'll be...
Oh, but yeah. And then it scales with our proficiency. That's interesting. Okay, that's great.
It scales with... there's no cap on the dex for you guys.
Oh yeah.
So you'll just have to keep pumping up your dex the whole time, which you'll want to do anyway. So very good. But yeah, so everyone gets to pick one skill from that list. And at that point, I think we'll have basically finished your sort of
Level one.
your level 1 stuff. Because we are, if I didn't mention this on stream yet, we're actually going to be starting everyone at level 2 in this game, just so that they can kind of have their sort of like paradigms already in place for actually reasons that you'll understand when the game begins. Yes, go ahead.
Can we confer on the skills that we have taken?
I think it would be great for you all to confer on the skills you've taken.
I took I took insight.
I have it.
Insight.
Okay, I have insight and perception just from my color.
Mm-hmm.
So not to say you can't, just like if you want to spread that out.
You might want to take Arcana. I think that will come up a lot.
For me,
I do.
Talking to me?
Yes, I am talking to El-An.
My intelligence is 9.
All the more
I have a
reason
high
to take
intelligence.
Arcana.
That's good. Yeah.
I can take Arcana. I have a really high intelligence, so I can do that.
So you're explaining to El-An the magic he's doing.
Look, this is how it works.
I just know the best way to make money. That's all I know. Okay. You just get people to work for you. Okay.
What skill are you thinking of doing there, Pierce?
I was also taking insight.
Wow, you guys all really glommed onto the same thing here. I wonder why everyone in this group is so worried about being able to trust people. That's weird.
Those stinky little noise.
Well, I view it more as determining what people need, not really about whether or not I trust them.
Fair.
Oh.
Kind
Very
way to look at
thoughtful.
it. So yeah. Again,
Should take it.
I think I always feel that history is a skill that comes in very handy.
I'll take history instead of Arcana then.
You'll take history. So we have a history and Arcana. Great.
But I could take this. Well, deception. Someone else already has.
I think people
right?
have that even from
I have deception. I could, if no one has persuasion, I could switch to.
I have.
I think the
I have a
golds
ton
both
of.
have persuasion.
Yeah, we have.
Actually,
a ton of
you know what? What the hell?
Stealth.
There are certain skills that make less sense. Things like I understand why sleight of hand's not really on here for any of you, but if there are skills not listed here, anybody wants to take as their one skill, I think that seems fine to me. I think other than sleight of hand, which seems. I tell you what, if you're a cunning style dragon, you could choose sleight of hand if you're desperate to do that. I don't think either of you are thinking of that. But we can even break it out from here a bit, because this is, it's a pretty limited list, and clearly everyone's trying to pick the same stuff.
What is this one skill? Isn't it the 2 skills that you get from the list?
No, you only get 1 skill from this list. I think it's because
it was 2.
you get 2 from your dragon species.
Oh.
And then you get to pick only 1 extra. But I'm kind of saying,
Oh, it was 2.
I'm going to let you pick any single extra. You don't have to go from this list, provided it makes sense. I guess there's some that would be a little weirder. Like if you're going to be, if anyone's going to be like a cleric dragon spellcaster, you can take religion, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Let's open some of that stuff up a bit. And then Anna, I do think you're just going to do athletics as your additional skill.
I was, but then I was thinking investigation.
Does anybody have investigation?
I do.
Oh, okay, I'll go to athletics.
Wait. So does that mean that no one has Arcana?
I picked it up because it seemed like nobody had it. So
Okay.
Then I'll take religion if that's an option.
All right. I'll
Okay.
take insight then.
And does anybody else has history?
let's do
I'll have
this.
history.
Let's do this. Everybody has perception, right? Everybody has perception.
Okay, so skip perception.
I have insight from just being a yellow dragon, and I picked up Arcana.
So we have insight and Arcana. I know that the golds both have persuasion. So you are persuasion and insight.
But I meant that is up for debates. But yes, right now insight, yes.
And then Pierce, you are deception and religion.
Yeah.
And then Anna, you are persuasion and investigation.
No, I switched to athletics.
You switch to athletics. Okay.
I'll do investigation then.
Instead of insight.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
And then
I
and
had
then
investigation from being Electrum.
Oh, okay. All right, then I'll stick with insight then.
Yeah, and I mean, people can have more than one of stuff, but it might make sense to spread things out a bit. All right, very good.
Oh, you do have investigation. Cool.
Yeah, so that has some good. So that's got some good kinds of mixing things up there a bit. I think. And then actually, that does remind me. I guess, how are we feeling? So basically, this is a lot of stuff we've done. The last thing we should do is add your hit points for level 1, which is pretty stupid. Your hit points at level 1 are 24 plus double your constitution modifier. Your hit dice at every level are 2d12.
So at level 1 it's 34 for me.
Yeah.
Wait,
Right,
say
for
that
the
again.
cons. For us, it's 34, right?
24 plus
24 plus your constitution modifier times
the 29
2.
for me.
34 because you add it twice.
Oh.
Because you
okay.
add it for every single
Got it.
die, since you have 2 die. And in fact, everyone go ahead and say your current HP and max HP are both, I think sounds like 3 of you are 34 starting out. What are our Dexy ones?
30.
30. Because you have a +3, yeah, would make sense.
Correct.
And then everybody, your current and maximum hit dice right now is 2d12.
Oh, we're just level 1 right now.
Level 1, it's you get the full, yeah, no roll on level 1. Honestly, at
Gotcha.
this amount, there probably should be, but it's fine. Great.
24 plus, oh, yeah, so 30.
So 30. So basically, we have 30, 30, 34, 34, 34. Okay, so that's
Look, each of one of us has to be able to deal with 5 level 1 adventurers.
a very fair point. Yes, exactly. Each one of you has to have enough to.
That's true.
Okay, great. So that is basically, we are now done with level 1, and there may be some stuff we're leaving out. This is a session 0. We're a session 1/2, so we'll plug stuff in where necessary.
Did we win?
You won the game. You beat D&D. Congratulations. But we're not actually stopping there. We are going to now pop up to level 2 so that you can have your paradigms from the get-go. Now, for most of you, I don't know that there are any choices here, but we will sort of do this by class. So let's start with our Arcanists.
Yes.
For Elon, you are going to be just using the sort of this Arcana spell list, this kind of mix and match thing, and you can add a couple spells on as long as you only have as many spells as you're meant to know up on that page 23. Yeah, you can kind of add in certain of the other ones we talked about. So the only things you choose at this level are the spells themselves. You choose. You will get to be choosing 3 cantrips and 3 first level spells that you know. You don't have to say those right now. Obviously, you can take as much time as you want to put that together. Is anybody else being an Arcanist in this group?
I am.
Understood. All right. So, and what kind of Arcanist are you going to be? I have a sneaking suspicion.
Yeah, I'm going to be choosing from the cleric spells.
Shocker.
So it's the same idea, right? I just pick those spells. I know those, but they just come from the cleric.
You know 3 cleric spells. You know 3 cleric cantrips. Bada bing, bada boom. It is possible that you will. Obviously, this is a little worse off than a cleric is because they sort of get to pick their spells every day. But I mean, that's how it works. If there's ever a spell that's like on the druid list that feels like kind of cleric-y, we can talk about. It's not a super firm hard. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
It's fine.
Anyway, yes. So great. So that is all our 2 Arcanists have to do. So congratulations. You have a healer dragon in your party. I was not sure you were going to do that, but I had a sneaking suspicion. And then when you said religion, I was like, yeah, he is for sure. All right, well, let's move on to our knight. Our knight in shining golden scales. Okay, at 2nd level.
We get into primal fury.
You do get into the primal fury. This means that you can enter a blood frenzy. It's kind of like rage.
Mm-hmm. But it says you cannot communicate verbally.
You can't. You are so mad. You're like, rah, 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 You have advantage on attacks with natural weapons. Oh, gee, that's helpful. Your natural weapons deal extra damage equal to your proficiency bonus, advantage on saving throws against any effect to cause you incapacitated, stunned, paralyzed, petrified, knocked unconscious, all that stuff, and you can't communicate verbally. This is very cool. You also try to eat the people you've knocked out, which is great. And then you can only use this once per short rest, basically. It's like a once per rest feature. Then you get to choose from Honor the Code, one of those options. Now, I think I know which one you said you might want to do, but I don't know if you've thought about this at all and changed your mind now having seen all the features.
I'm super into Code of the Predator.
I think it makes sense. So basically, you will have a feature where if you consume the remains of a creature you killed, you regain a number of hit dice equal to your con modifier. So in other words, at this point, a lot.
Right.
You'll up to the max. So you'll always, if you eat the people you kill, you'll have some stuff. Okay, great. So yeah, so you can mark that down that you'll take the Predator Oath.
Shishu is just a little vindictive biatch.
I mean, why wouldn't you be? It makes sense. Our Tactical Genius. That is what our Imperator's name is. Whenever you make a Charisma, Deception, Intimidation, or Persuasion ability check, you can use Int instead of Charisma. So that's nice. After you take your action on each turn, you can immediately take Disengage or Hide.
Sick.
So that's not a bonus action. You can just do that whenever you take
That's
action.
incredible. With your movement?
No, it's a bonus action. Oh, no. That's the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's
amazing. That just happens.
Yeah.
Then you have something called Plan of Attack. At second level, as a bonus action on each turn, you can examine a creature you see within 120 feet, see a flaw in its defenses, and then before the start of your next turn, you can sort of grant someone extra damage. When they hit the attack, basically, kind of. So you don't even have to say, next attack gets it. You can say, oh, you just hit, great, do it. That does include the special attack that we're going to talk about in just a second, because that's all you get for second level, right? Perfect. Because Vanda is going to be taking the Hunter class, a dragon who's, probably aspiring to be one of the Rangers of Ard, these sort of patrollers. The Hunters, they get some pretty crazy stuff at second level. This is also something I've come up with, so I hope this is balanced. I did the math on it. Will adjust if necessary. The main thing that this dragon has the ability to do is form their breath into a super concentrated missile of energy and shoot it at someone. Yes, as Pierce describes this is the fuck you in particular. That's what this weapon is called. The range of this attack is 60 feet or 120 if your damaging breath weapon is a cone, or 120 and 300 if it's a line, and this will go up as you get bigger. You get to use your attack modifier based on whatever draconic instinct you chose. So for you, this is going to be a con-based attack. You do the full damage of your breath weapon to that person, but you do expend a use of your breath weapon. And I will mention to all of you, because you can always just breathe your weapon, forget all this spells and stuff. You can also just breathe on a bunch of people, whatever you want to. This will scale huge. You will eventually be doing so much damage to this one person. Because of this feature, however, you have to roll a 6 to recharge your breath weapon, any breath weapon, whenever you expend it this way.
But you added all those other things when I can roll a d6.
Indeed. Now, some of those come in later, but starting at second level, you can actually expend your hit dice. So say that you roll a 4, and you really want it back to finish someone off at the start of your turn, you can expend a number of hit dice and add that to the d6 roll to get your breath weapon back.
So if I roll 4, I expend 2 dice, and then it brings it
and
up
now
to
it's
6.
Well,
right?
and since you're the kind of dragon... What?
I just have a point of clarification about that.
Yeah.
Since our hit dice, each hit die is 2d12, do you give up 4d12?
No, you give up 1d12. I think it is your hit dice are not... let me see how they've written it. It's strictly speaking, it is not that each hit dice is 2d12. It is you get 2d12 hit dice per level.
Oh, okay.
It's not like each individual hit dice is 2. Okay. It's that you just get 2 every level.
I was thinking about Top Flight, and that's how that works.
Yeah, we did it a little. Yeah, exactly. For this, it's so for this, it is you get 2 every level. Speaking of that, we're about to roll the rest of your hit points because you guys aren't even stopping there. Your second level, you're gonna have another 2d12 plus double your con modifier. So basically what this means is you can recharge your breath weapon kind of faster, which is pretty cool. You can like get that breath arrow back. And then the last feature that the hunter gets is called Gifted Tracker. So go ahead and do this now. You gain proficiency in nature and survival, and you gain expertise in those two skills.
Yes.
In addition, you have advantage on tracking any creature whose scent you've picked up in the last 24 hours. In other words, if they have been in range of your blind sight. And I guess I should mention that to all of you. You do all have blind sight out to a range of 10 feet and dark vision out to a range of 60. That's just a thing all dragons have.
Then smell them from 10 feet.
So basically, if someone was within 10 feet of you, although at higher levels it'll be larger.
Or if they are very smelly.
Perhaps. Based on factors, that's possible. You have to get like a real deep whiff of them. And then you have advantage on your checks to track them for 24 hours. All right, so that's all the features these crazy dragons are all getting at level 2.
Did you talk about our arcane jaws?
I didn't. Oh, yes, I forgot to mention the arcane jaws. Please, let's mention that. Go ahead, if you have it pulled up.
Oh, yeah. It's basically that when we bite something, we can expend a spell slot and deal an extra d6 equal to the level. Right, so right now just an extra d6, but that 2d6, 3d6, however. Right.
And what kind of damage is that?
It's force damage, right?
It is, well, it depends. It is your energy type. So,
right.
And actually, it's interesting, 3 of you are fire breathers in this campaign.
Oh, that's right.
Which I would say is pretty darn appropriate for dragons. Yeah. Let's actually talk about energy type. I didn't kind of go into that. Our yellow dragon friend is a sort of unique, interesting dragon dealing in psychic damage. So the cone that you do, forcing an int save, by the way, so that's going to be effective against a lot of things. Does that sort of beautiful psychic damage. Our gold dragons and our obsidian dragon, they are all dealing fire. And interestingly, our Electrum Dragon is also dealing psychic. So we have a we'll sort of play into that perhaps. We have some disciplines, some similarities in that, which actually I think will potentially make some sense when we talk about how this game's going to be starting. And in fact, I will reveal this to you all now. Our game will begin with all of you in the city of Cloud's Caress, about to start your time at the Royal Academy. This is the most exclusive, difficult to sort of get into sort of institute of higher learning, and basically by having arrived there, that is why you have these paradigms. It's like you've kind of chosen your majors, basically.
Oh, yes. We made it into uni.
So you exactly, you made it into uni. So that is kind of where the dragons are starting. I'm going to ask the group this again. I know people say they always like rolling, but some really don't when it comes to hit points. Do you guys want to roll the dice on your hit points every time, or do you want to take the average every level?
This is when I would say roll. Every time I've ever rolled dice, it's not always a lot more, but you ultimately always come out ahead of the average.
Is everybody cool with rolling for these?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. In that case, because it is not going to be an option.
We haven't touched ambitions and obsessions.
I know we're gonna get to that. Actually, I wanted to finish with that because once they're sort of built, I wanted to talk about some of that sort of stuff, and you guys can sort of still think about that if necessary. So everyone roll 2d12 and add 6 if you are one of the Dex dragons, and then everybody else can roll to add 10. And that's how many more hit points you have.
Are we re-rolling ones?
6d12s?
You roll 2d12.
2d12.
Because it is not an option, you don't have the option of taking the average. You may re-roll ones.
Okay.
But only one time. If you roll a 1 again, it's a 1.
All right. I rolled a 12 and a 1, so I'm rolling with a
re-roll the 1.
It's a 12. I have 2 12s.
You have 2 12s, so your hit points are your hit points will be 68 at level 1.
Okay.
Level 2.
At level 2, sorry. Yes, level 2.
68. Only 68. Plus 2 and plus 4.
Well, what is your modifier to your constitution?
My instinct thing. I have tough.
Oh, shoot, that's right. Your instinct is
Well, no, you already said it. You said the rest of us add 10, which is accounting for the extra 2.
Oh, you two add 10. That's accounting for the extra 2. I'm sorry.
Because
you're 18s for your con.
Yeah, we're both.
So
18s,
sorry,
right?
I get it. Sorry, the other Anna has a +5, so actually we'll be doing the 6. So
Yeah.
it all makes sense. Yes.
I rolled an 11 and a 9, so 20.
So 20 plus 10, so another 30. So you have 64.
How much is mine now?
68.
I rolled
Okay.
5.
I
Plus, does it count the tough feet?
that does count the tough feat. Yes. The
Are you sure?
yes, because you're doing 4 plus 4 plus 2, which is 10.
Sorry, did you say you rolled 5?
Yeah.
5 on 2d12. I gave you guys the option to just take average, but nobody wanted to do it. All right, go for it.
I rolled
so
a 5.
So that's 5 plus 6 is 11.
That's after re-rolling one of them?
No, I
only
rolled a 3
re-roll
and
if
a
you
2.
roll a 1.
Oh, okay.
A 3 and a 2. That's grim. What did we have, Jed?
I took Andrew's luck and I got a 12 and 11. I re-rolled a 1 into a 12.
So you got a 12 and 11, and then Vanda had a 12 and a 12 after re-rolling a 1. So great.
right, that's
so
fine.
that's
I'm in the back
23 plus 6. So 29 more. Great. Cool.
I have 59 hit points now.
Wonderful. Well, guys.
And sorry, wait, what? It's 5. So, sorry, what's my plus? Is 6, right? Because I have a
you get
con
a
of
6
3.
every time. Yeah. Well, you get it, and
11.
to really think of it, you're putting 3 on each one of those
Gotcha.
dice. But yeah.
Mm.
Well,
I
great.
also have a 59.
Great.
I got a 41, baby.
41, 59. So here's the thing. If you're rolling these 2d12 every level, there's going to be some spreads. There's going to be some big...
I'm okay with that.
I feel like you shouldn't feel bad about it. Like, even if like we all talk about it, like, you shouldn't feel bad.
And our hit dice are 4d12 now, right?
Your hit dice are... you have 4d12 total hit dice, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Great. Okay, cool. So yes, there are some other kind of like background things and ambitions, and we can talk about those in a bit. But I did want to ask if people had determined what region of Wyrmloth they're in. And if anybody at home cares about this, you can actually go to the downloads section of our Discord, and you can find the map of Wyrmloth where this whole game is taking place. It's approximately the size of Australia. Is the size of this planet. There also, if anyone cares, there is actually like a novelette short story type thing set in the world. If you want to get a taste of what it's like, that's also there in our download section on our Discord. But I think I'd heard some of you had said maybe where your characters were actually from and had sort of grown up and such. But if anybody wants to sort of mention that, if they've thought of that already, please do so now.
Go ahead, Elon.
I'm looking it up in...
Cloud's Caress. We're from Cloud's Caress.
Go ahead,
Yes.
tell them. We're from Cloud's Crest.
That's right, sister. We're from Cloud's Grass.
So you are kind of from the capital. You are big city dragons.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, just kind of like culturally speaking, the fact that you're gold dragons, that makes... Yeah, of course you are.
Track.
Yeah, it tracks.
Wonderful.
I mean, but we worked really hard to get where we're at, okay?
Of course. Do you
Our
have
parents worked really hard.
Do you
for
guys
us.
have a family
Yeah.
hoard? Is it? Are you?
Says
do you have-
everybody born on third base.
Exactly.
Yeah, listen.
I don't
okay,
know what my
self-made.
parents did,
Hey,
but
we got
I'm
a little
here
bit
at
of
uni
seed-
with the rest of you.
And we got a little bit of seed hoard from our family, okay? But it's nothing big. It's nothing big, okay?
It's like so much less. Like you couldn't even open you couldn't even do a pop up with it. Pierce, have we said your dragon's name yet?
No.
What is your dragon's name, and whence comes this dragon?
Here, I will put it in.
And yes, Dragon Grind, they are thick. These are some serious dragons. My goodness.
Tongart Lesu.
Tongart. That is a hard TH.
Yes.
Tongart Lesu.
Tongart Lesu, the obsidian sort of psychically
And
minded.
I am from, although you can tell me if this does not make sense, the Plains of Solace.
That makes a certain amount of sense. I would imagine a lot of obsidian dragons come from the more sort of mountainous volcanic regions, but it's not. It doesn't strike me as impossible. Perhaps you were, your family's probably not native to there.
No.
but that certainly
We
is
took over one of the ranches.
Understood. Perfect. You ran a ranch there. Do you think perhaps they came, given that you were sort of a cleric in nature, perhaps did you come from the sort of mountains and volcanoes of Moonshadow, of Moon's Caress?
I believe a few generations back.
Sure.
Yeah,
All right. Very good.
That's where we were from.
All right. On a ranch, distant relatives in Moonshadow. Wonderful. Vanda, did you have an idea about where XigXag?
I am from Boglatch, the deep swamp.
The city of Deep Swamp, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, of
I
course.
was actually a foundling egg rolled into the lair of a dracolith dragon.
Oh,
The perturbed.
a dracolich. Okay, the
Yes,
the undead
and-
ones.
No, the brain eater kind. Yeah.
Oh, the dracolithid. Yeah. The okay,
So-
sure.
Yeah, XigXag grew up kind of messed up.
Fair
and
enough.
That
Well, we will
explains her
have.
current state.
That will be an interesting. That is what you're touched, and that also makes sense for the psychic. And I mean, that's what they get. But that's a fun connection. Jed, do you have any thought on where you're from? There is a table if you just want to roll randomly.
No, believe me, I understand where I'm from. Many people from there have an understanding. I'm Buku Bazan, from Bazankin, and
yes.
my family goes back many generations. We're part of the founding people there.
Wonderful. In fact, in that case, sir, I'll just do this because of how you're presenting yourself. You are a lord of Bazankin, so you are Lord Buku Bazan.
Yes.
You have the title from the beginning.
It's like old money. Don't.
I earned everything I have, so I worked hard for this. I'm well aware of where I come from and how I get what I
I'm just saying that
do.
we're coming in to disrupt the sort of,
That is
Wyrmloth.
But I also like old money because you don't know they're old money. We're not garish about it.
Oh my god. This is wonderful.
There's
Guy's
nothing I love more than wearing a dragon sweater and walking around in slippers and
you guys
there's no need to
definitely
show it off.
you guys are definitely
Dragon
going to an
sweater.
exclusive university. This really makes sense. I think XigXag is there on a scholarship.
I'm just
Sure.
gonna say I'm a scholarship.
I'm gonna feel a little bit like the odd man out here, but that's okay. I'm excited to meet y'all.
Yeah. All right, well,
So
this is
quaint.
great.
It's so quaint. Where you're from, it's so quaint.
That
I just
accent
find
is
it
just
so charming.
adorable.
Your provinciality.
Oh, that's so cute. You're from the Plains of Solace. That's adorable.
Oh yeah. I could tell by your accent.
You guys have
People
pigs
live
and
there?
everything? All right, so a couple of
You
other
actually
things.
catch your own food out there? I've heard such things. I mean, this is fascinating.
Mostly we grow things so we can provide for everyone.
So Vanda had
Not
mentioned
yourself. You have others do that, right?
But for your own
Dirt.
horde, right?
Yeah. I mean, how big is your horde?
It's a rude question, but one that would be asked.
Elon, that seems
We're
very
Nouveau Riche.
uncouth.
We ask a lot of rude
I'm just saying
questions.
that our family has one of the biggest hordes in the Cloud's Crest, but it's fine.
That is
It's
very
right.
much. This is already perfect.
The difference
My dad-
between new money and
my dad-
old. The new loves to show it off.
What's fun about this is that this is a great group to be hunted mercilessly. This is a really
Why?
fun group of
Why?
survivors to be like, oh, geez, okay. Yeah. So, Vanda had mentioned this. Now, I am going to say this is in no means a requirement. If you wish to roll on page 16 on the ambition and obsession tables, you
Oh,
are
I already know
welcome to
that.
do so. I would say with so many of you, I think some of you already clearly have some ambitions and you don't need to kind of like roll for these.
Page 16, you said?
On page 16 of the main document, we
Yeah.
have some ambitions and stuff. If anybody cares to look these over and choose from that, also you can kind of think of this, but I would definitely say, and Vanda, I think Vanda wants to do that.
Yes.
So yeah, why don't you, so Vanda, why don't you roll a d6 and let's see what your ambition
No, actually,
is.
can I pick it instead
Sure.
of roll it? Because mine was knowledge,
Okay.
self-knowledge, I believe.
Self-knowledge. Okay, great. And then,
Yes. And there was, yeah.
And then do you have? And I will, however, say think of an obsession. You don't have to pick it from this, but I would.
Right.
I would.
I was thinking about it. There is one when you're collecting hats and stuff. Could it be shoes instead?
Shoes? Yes, you would like
Yes,
to.
I'm a great shoe collector.
You are obsessed with collecting the shoes of bipeds. I think that's fantastic.
That's excellent.
I love that.
And we'll sort of get into this a bit. The energy of how hordes work. Like, building a horde is a very important thing for dragons, and of course, kind of some of this will sort of be revealed as we play the game. But yeah, definitely think of the types of things that are sort of special to you. There is this table on 16, so if you want to look at that for inspiration, you don't have to have this figured out by now, but it is just sort of something to think about. Kind of the interest. Like, for example, we had in our Pierce in our game with Moonwing, who Dan is desperate for you guys to let him come in and play. I said it has to be a unanimous assent from the group for him to come in here.
It's gonna be a while.
He's been telling me, he's like, I have a couple Sundays off. Can I come on? And I was like, you got to talk to them. Moonwing will be a silver dragon. Moonwing, and I think he'll have to carry this over. Moonwing is obsessed with musical instruments. He loved getting musical instruments. That was his kind of like his interest, which makes sense because his voice was Matt Berry. So if you guys want to think on that, I would say that's a good thing to sort of do. But I think beyond that, is there anything else that people kind of
I
wanted
just
to...
wanted to say Shishu's ambition is 100% influence. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
he wants
Lord
to be
Buku's.
influencer
Yes.
so badly.
Oh yeah. And Elan's is clearly opulence.
And then
Yeah.
Shisu,
Yeah.
I love it's a totally different kind of influence from mine. You're like, I want to be an influencer.
You're like, yes, I also want to be an influencer.
that's not true. You also want to be an influencer, Lord Baku.
very-
Man, so you two are like
Different
birds of a
style
feather,
of
like they
influence.
say.
Very different type.
I'd be going.
I'm just
to
a
understand.
strong dragon.
Makes sense.
So if like people are influenced by me, that's just, the message that I send.
Yeah, you are definitely magnetic, Shishu.
Thank you.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not an alloy or anything. I'm solid gold. Okay. So I don't care about that.
Well, I wasn't gonna try to put a magnet on you or anything.
24 karat magic. All right.
It meant more about your aura.
Oh man.
I'm not an aloe or anything.
I'm these Electrum dragons. It's cute, but yeah. Oh my god, this is delightful. God, it's gonna be so bad when these bad guys show up.
What's your obsession, Pierce?
Oh, I was about to find out.
Let's
Ooh.
find out.
I'll roll.
Gonna roll a d20 in the obsession's great.
All right. Well, this actually makes a bit of sense. I believe in honoring the dead animals. So I like to sort of collect some of the taxidermy and stuff. Sort of like a memento from where I've been.
Sure. Great.
I'm really interested in remapping the way that the way that we think of dragon wealth. I've started a line of natural flame tails, which you can buy from me. If you buy it, then you own it, and other people can invest in that. They can we call them NFTs. So you can
Like new flame tails? Or like,
yeah.
Now,
Well, like
how? And
if
these
I
are.
bought into that. Would I own a piece of that flame tail?
Oh yeah, no one can take it away from you.
So yeah, I was gonna ask
Oh,
how
the whole flame
fungible
tail.
these
it
are.
has a magical fingerprint to it. So like only you.
Yeah, you and only you, and so yeah.
Well,
Cool.
shoot, that sounds exciting.
I also have a series of bipeds that work in a mine for me. So
And you came up with this idea.
I didn't come up with it, but I like to think that I popularized it. So yeah.
Impressive.
Jesus
nonetheless.
wrote Doge tail.
Yeah. So
Oh man. That's delightful. Well, guys, I feel like that's some good stuff. We can, if anybody else has rolled for an obsession or wants to say when, they certainly can. But I feel like we're in pretty good shape for you guys to start this. I don't feel like you'll be difficult to just. I don't feel like I usually do in session 1, where I'm accidentally going to kill them with like a lucky crit, since people have ranging. What's the low end of your hit points is 59? Is that correct?
No, my hit points is 41, I think.
41. Okay. The low end. So
Squishy.
Unless I do 83 points of damage at a single attack, probably not being dropped there. Well, that's great, guys.
Don't worry, friend. I'll get you back up.
That is true.
Yeah,
You also plus healer. All right. Well, that's cool. There is actually one other thing I was going to do for all of you. And that is each of you starting in your horde. In most cases, these are not things you necessarily will be using. It's more sort of property you own, but each of you is going to be possessed of one uncommon magic item. We're going to roll these randomly to see what you acquired. So my question to people is, do you want me to go for the full gamut of available options, or would you only like to roll from the dungeons? And I could do this for different people. So tell me is there anybody who just wants from the DMG, kind of like the normal stuff, or are you cool with out there stuff?
Out there.
All right, great.
Out there.
Then in that case,
there.
Whoever would like to go first, let's pull this up here, and
Sure.
then we will, then we can get onto this, then we can get onto a very important poll. Okay, friends and neighbors. Who would like to go first?
Jed.
Okay,
I'll go first.
roll me a d10.
8.
8. Love it. Roll a d20.
16.
20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Ah, you, sir, are possessed, and you actually can totally put this on you, and I bet you'll want to. You have a stone of good luck, also called a luck stone. You may attune to that if you wish.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
I like to think that we make our own luck, right, Chishu?
Yeah.
Who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
Shishu, roll me a
That's peasant
d10.
thinking.
7.
7. Roll a d20.
13.
Right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Wow.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You possess a robe of useful items. You cannot
I
wear
like
it,
that.
but you have it.
No, she just hangs it up and looks at it. She got it on. You got it when you were like really young, right?
I got
like,
it from Rent the Runway.
Yeah.
XigXag, let's have you go next. Roll me a d10. Roll Rent the Runway.
I mean, Rent the Dragon Runway, obviously.
The D20?
Roll a
Shit, stone
d10.
of luck.
It was an 8.
An 8. Roll a d20. Yeah, Stone of Good Luck's going to be helpful for you. That's a +1 to all those
Also
saves.
an 8.
An 8?
Oh.
Mhm.
Wow.
Ooh, creepy and upsetting and perfect for your character. Your Draculith, your Dracolithid gave you
Father.
a very disturbing item. It is not so much psionic or sort of aberrant in nature, but what they gave to you, sort of as like a present to build your old horde, is this 5-inch kind of around. It's about 1 inch thick, and it is of this iron that always feels sort of hot. It weighs about 1/3 of a pound, and it has infernal writing all over it, and it contains a soul within it. You have a soul coin.
Oh, jeez.
XigXag, we're trying to make you fit in, and you have weird shit.
And she's like, this contains a biped soul.
Oh, can I keep flipping it? It's like, whoop, whoop,
Sure.
whoop.
Oh, you totally could. They're like 4 inches across.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
perfect
sized for a dragon.
And I'm a large dragon.
Who
so
have we
here.
Elan, would you please roll a d10 for me?
D10. 4.
4. All right, and then a d20. And if anybody can't tell what I'm doing, I'm having them roll of like the number of all uncommon items, and then the d20, there's 20 per page, etc., etc. What's your 20?
13.
Hey, ooh, we got a lot of lucky number 13s tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, this is not sized for you. Although you are
Welcome to my
medium, so
world.
you might be able to get it on around your head ridges for a while here. But you do have a helm of comprehending languages.
Oh,
It is
very useful.
Well, you do lots of business
Yeah,
across
you
borders.
you,
as
you
I
probably
understand.
more frequently stick it
Trust
on a
me.
biped servant, but yeah.
Or sometimes like
My Talon knows what he's saying.
yeah.
He knows how to pronounce all the things in the local dialects too. It's
Exactly.
obnoxious.
Yeah. So, yeah, just the.
Oh,
going to
you mean he's gone to España?
No,
Yeah,
Badankin.
España,
We're in Badankin. Then
Plaza de la Catalunya.
I believe everyone has done this except because we have a robe of useful items, a soul coin, a luck stone, a helm of understanding languages, but Tangart Lesseau has nothing. So would you please roll a d10 for me?
8.
8. God, we've had multiple people roll on that because we had the stone of good luck and the soul coin. So you're probably getting something that starts with an S. Roll a d20.
2.
So again, not something you'd ever wear, but it's a pretty cool thing to have. It's actually from Candlekeep Mysteries. You have serpent scale armor. It is a suit of magic armor that is scale mail made of shimmering scales. And it allows a biped who wears it to apply their entire dex modifier instead of a +2 max for their checks with it,
Oh, nice.
which is pretty cool. And it doesn't impose any disadvantage on stealth checks. It is a coat and leggings separate skirt.
Plus, it's just so shiny.
And it's beautiful and shiny. Serpent scale armor that is in your horde.
Oh, that's
I
fucking.
want to find out it wasn't actually.
You got serp.
Actually, no,
Guess
but
what I
that
put on
makes
my
perfect.
fucking ranger, by the way.
That makes you put serpent scale armor.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's perfect. But
It's
that's actually
smaller.
that's great for you being into taxidermy because it's like from Well, everyone, so this is great. I'm so excited for this thing. I hope that despite not getting to play those cool characters from last week, we are excited about this seems like a very fun group. And not to say I didn't like the rest of the group, but this already the dynamic of all these dragons together, I'm very interested in exploring. So, I think we can kind of wrap it up here for now.
Right.
There will be some other things, revealed about it. But before we do that, we are going to have to pause for a few minutes here to do
Yes.
our poll. This is round 2 of the poll, everyone.
See you in Ibiza.
See you in Ibiza.
And I know.
If I may make a case
Sure.
real quick.
Yes.
Just because I
Especially-
feel like you give a very like drawn out description of one and then 5 words.
Oh
on the
no,
other.
I can give a more drawn out description of. I did that earlier. If you'd like, I will give a more. But if you want to make your case, you want me to do that?
My
before
case
or
just
after?
simply for the incredibly deadly dungeon crawl is that this is one of the only things Philip has run that I know nothing about.
That is true.
Yeah.
Because he told me about this over a year ago, and just how insane the situations are that arise out of it. I just think you could not anticipate anything that's going to happen in it. So it will be some madcap antics.
Here is what I will say about the super lethal dungeon crawl, and I am starting the poll right now. I am still allowing channel points and all that stuff this time. We are starting this now. Currently, the score stands 160 votes for the Gothic and 129 for the dungeon crawl. The dungeon crawl basically involves the players having to come with a lot of characters ready to go. What level they are doesn't matter. Most things in this dungeon kill you immediately. I think I have never laughed harder at some of the deaths than when I re-rolled this last time. Everyone playing in it, we were cackling at the like Saw horror movie style kills that come out of this game. So yes, if you want to see a preposterous Halloween themed super lethal dungeon crawl, then that will be a lot of fun. That being said, the horror thing in Scotland is Call of Cthulhu, which is also one of my favorite things. The reason I'm doing a poll is I'm happy doing either one of these. It's going to be great, whichever one wins. No matter who wins, you lose. No, that's not true. Everyone wins for watching it. Why would I say that? That's a bad sell, is what that is. So yeah, they're both
Tagline from AVP.
AVP, guys, AVP. That's right. The secret option. If nothing gets votes in any of these, we will run an AVP RPG. My favorite scene in Alien vs. Predator is when it looks like the Predator's gonna kiss the lady. Like, he teams up with her for a while, and it really looks like they're gonna make out. He's like saying goodbye to her, and he takes his mask off, and I really thought they were gonna kiss. And they didn't, and I felt let down.
That's fair.
I don't know. I like my Predators to be I like the softer side of a Predator. So those are our crazy Halloween options. Everyone sort of like, and we're not actually even completely sure of the sort of lineup of this. I think some of our players, some of our current players may be here for that, for whichever of these. I know that, as we said, Lauren has made the strong case that she is only playing in the Gothic horror, and she desperately wants that one to win. Which I don't know if that's that she doesn't want to play in the super lethal dungeon, or simply that she just
loves Scotland.
Just loves Scotland. Maybe I'll make the Gothic horror one like it's real, just deep into like Scottish, like 1800s Scottish fishing rights or something. I'll find some obscure laws that happened in like Scotland in like, you know, the 1850s about like the fishing rights. It'll just be that. And that is actually a good point. Call of Cthulhu. Now I actually should mention for
no
people who may exactly.
That's late.
I should mention the Gothic horror game. We're using Call of Cthulhu. It will not be Lovecraft mythos. It's just a system I love. Haven't run it with very many people who I'm still playing games with. Used to run with my brother all the time, we had some real rough, everyone going mad at the end. We will use the sanity rules, but it's really just for that kind of like low power, creepy. It's a good. Have you ever played a Call of Cthulhu thing, Pierce?
No.
So no.
I've never played it before.
It's a mild consolation prize there if it doesn't, if your option does not win. But
I seem to be the lone voice on that one, I think.
Did you how many of those 139 votes for the super lethal dungeon crawl?
They might all be me.
Maybe the super lethal dungeon crawl can get reskinned as a Christmas event in that case. Or if it loses, we'll do it as a Thanksgiving dungeon.
Perfect.
There'll be a CR30 turkey at the center of the tomb.
Up this.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Also, we will maybe want to talk about. We can sort of do this now as this poll's wrapping up, or we can do this at a later point. But we may want to. I'll have to tell you some about various deities for your cleric, various divine sources.
Oh yes,
because
I did have some questions because I didn't really find anything.
There's a primary. If you look at the entry for Moon Shadow, you'll actually see a good bit of stuff of that. So you can.
I did see the things later on with like higher level feats, which kind of clearly draw from sources.
Various draconic things. Oh, another thing I don't think I've ever. I think this is in some guides I've told you. Get used to me using the phrases bomb and tia a lot. Bomb is the term for a male dragon, and tia is the term for a female dragon. Any non-binary or kind of other dragons are simply referred to as dragons. But bomb is the male, tia is the female. Gee, where did that come from?
Yeah.
So it looks like. Looks like Gothic horror has picked up another 219 votes against the 100.
Fucking Pierce dropped 18,000 channel points. You dirty.
I feel like it's 18,000 channel points, but it didn't.
Look,
it didn't.
All I'm saying is I think one of these will be dramatically more satisfying as a one shot than the other will be.
That,
especially within our normal time frame,
that might not be untrue. Mild concerns about that with the Gothic horror one, but I could, we'll get some things. Okay, so 219 to 158. Goodness.
Yeah.
All right, the total does stand pretty darn high here.
Dude, I've had to modify my sheet so much.
Yeah, for all the crazy stuff. Oh, well, you got a luck stone on there. Forget it. Yeah.
I got a luck stone. I had to like add intelligence to like half my skills. It was very
remap
interesting.
them to be int instead. Yeah.
I did.
Okay, so we have 379 votes so far for the Gothic Horror event, and a respectable 287 for the super lethal
Okay, so it's
dungeon.
like still a competition.
It's it could definitely be all swung tomorrow night if people want to come and drop the rest of their channel points. Or what you really need to do is you'll need to court what we'll call the KJ vote, because KJ I don't think has spent a single one. So if you'll need to try to sway her to the stuff. I think if it doesn't count votes from Pierce, I think the super lethal dungeon crawl has gotten 20 votes by my math, if that's correct. So, guys, very cool. Very, very cool.
So how many votes for the other if you remove the channel points?
If I remove channel points, there's no it's over. Well, guys, this is great. Thank you so much for indulging that. If you like this game, come back next week and see Here Be Dragons, where dragons will do dragony things. It will be session 1. Will the characters they made at their 20th level murderers, will they show up next week? I don't know. Maybe I won't have them show up until these guys have kind of leveled up and are a little stronger. Or maybe they show up first thing. Who knows?
I hope one of them is our professor.
Welcome to class. Lesson 1, the art of dying. If you like the opposite of this, check out Wild Beyond the Witchlight tomorrow. Last week, they went to the Witchlight Carnival and goofed around, and somebody pickpocketed the deck of many things from a gnome named Eliwick Tumblestrum. That was interesting. So yeah, that's our Monday night game. And then on Fridays, yes, clarification.
I just have a thing. I don't know if I told you about this, but it's just a fun thing to like talk about a cool D&D product, which is there is, whenever they release a new book, they send out like a PR bundle to people. And in this specific one, there was scents, these sort of atmosphere scents that you can spray around, made from a local company here, Cantrip Candles, who started like 5 years ago selling candles out of his house.
That's
and now,
so good.
Yeah, now he has a business storefront and 5 employees and doing official product with Wizards.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I have 2 of those.
Yeah, they're great. I have
a bunch too.
Can you get these scent spritzer
I don't know if you get those
from...
exact scents, but what he did was there was one that was Domain of Delight, which was sort of like a musky floral one, and then the Wild Light Carnival, which was cotton candy and popcorn. But his stuff is always fantastic. So if you're local, you can go to a store. If not, you can buy stuff online.
What's the site?
Cantrip Candles.
Cantrip Candles. They're fantastic.
That's awesome.
I had to stop my wife from burning them.
This one,
I'm like, that's for my D&D
which
games.
is right here, which is Blackhound Tavern, which
great.
smells like tobacco and whiskey.
My favorite is Stone Moss Chapel.
It's great.
Yes.
Very, very kind
Oh,
of like
look at
earthy.
this site. This looks awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, it's
really
phenomenal.
They're
I like
really good
there's a
scents.
forest one I really enjoyed, and like
Yeah, they're really good
smells like a
scents.
forest.
No,
They're
it's
not a
really-
sponsor.
I'm
They're
obsessed
just
with this.
there's always
Great.
15 of these candles in my house, and I just think he's a cool guy, and I'm happy to see him succeed.
Very good. So yeah, anybody else want to plug anything else? Oh, and then we have our horror game on Fridays. I was doing so yeah, horror game Fridays, Blood from a Stone, murder people, it's real mean. Cool, yes. Plug nice things now.
Tuesday at 3, I'm doing another stream. I'm starting a new game, where I'm a ghost pirate detective, I think.
Wonderful.
Big thanks to Jed for rating my stream last week. I had a bunch of viewers. It was a really lovely birthday present, so thank you.
Now,
Yeah, sure.
I have a question about your stream. After having, so you've done it once, you've done a couple, how many you've done?
I do it weeklies on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific.
So for your first session, what percentage was the game and what percentage was the relationship advice, would you say?
The relationship advice was a bit of a gimmick that didn't end up panning out.
There was no relationship advice. It was the game.
Yeah. No, there was a little bit at the
Which I
very beginning.
enjoyed immensely watching.
Yeah.
Understood.
Next time, though, if I ask you some questions, will you give me some relationship advice?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Well then forget I brought up an abandoned gimmick on your stream.
No.
Apologies.
Yeah,
We're gonna
no,
make him
I'm,
bring it
I'm
back.
Still, yeah, no, we can. We can.
He answered the
interested.
questions that were asked.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
True, he did.
Well, great. Okay. Anybody else?
I
wanna-
got to say, a half hour before Andrew's thing starts, I do an exact half hour cooking demo on Instagram. So watch that and get hungry, and then turn on Andrew's
And bring it
Twitch.
over. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
just
you-
knock
And
it
then-
all out on a Tuesday afternoon.
And then,
2
yeah.
hours before Anna does her thing on Instagram, you can check me out on Twitch. Deadwood Jedi. I play a video game. It's
Awesome.
fun.
Perfect.
Yay.
And then
Raid? Are you gonna be playing Raid?
I'll be playing Raid Shadow Legends. Absolutely.
wonderful. And guys, 2 hours before that, I will be going to the grocery store.
Me too.
And
that's
I'll
cool.
be working through this whole time. So
Wonderful. Well, yes. Well, please check out all of these fun things. I think you can find everyone's links on our wonderful About page, which Lauren did a lot of work on to make link filled. It's got so many links you'd think it was a breakfast platter. Okay. Anyway, everybody.
Wow.
Wow.
And on a real high note there, huh?
You made 5 other adults groan
That's good. Then
simultaneously.
mission accomplished then. Oh my lord. Anyway, gang, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being so engaged in chat. Everyone is super fun. I hope you're enjoying seeing these characters come to life. I am super excited to jump into this game next week. Again, check out our Discord. If you enjoy what we do, give us a follow or even a subscribe. Fun fact, if you have an Amazon account, you get a free Twitch subscription. So throw that our way or to one of the other fine people on this channel, if you know, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. I think if we get like 5 more subs before any of the subs stop being our subs, you know, because of nonsense, we'll get some more emotes. So subscribe and we'll have more emotes. We need a Here Be Dragons emote for the tier 1 level. I thought I'd maybe wait and see a little bit into the game what was going on. A suggestion I've had so far from Pierce was a heart being ripped apart by a dragon claw. To capture the feeling of Session 0 last week.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
That's the symbol for
I support
betrayal.
that.
But in any case, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Just Phil's face.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the symbol for betrayal.
It's just I'm look up betrayal in the dictionary. It's a picture of me. Me and Judas and Benedict Arnold and Brutus. The 4 of us just doing the cool stuff.
Right.
All right, everyone, have a
Symposium at that point.
we have our TED Talk on betrayal. Brutus was supposed to go first, but I pushed him off the stage and now I'm doing it. All right. Oh, buddy. All right, everyone. Well, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I think the closing word for this one, until I think of something better, is have a dragony night. Take it easy. Good night, everybody.